This video is sponsored by jlcpcb.com. jlcpcb is a website where you can order 10 PCBs 10 by 10 cm for just $2. Visit jlcpcb.com to learn more. Every time I design a PCB, I want to try something new and push my limits. This time, I wanted to make this PCB programmable without external programmer, so I found some really cheap USB to UART converters called CH340G. The problem is that I've never used them before, and those are not very well documented on the internet. So I eventually got it working. I needed to add just 3 capacitors. So instead of making a video about not very successful project, I thought that I will make a video about how I troubleshoot this project. Some tips and tricks for your PCB problems. First step is to solder all of the components. All of them, not just few to test a PCB. All of the components that should be on the final PCB. Otherwise you wouldn't test a PCB completely. To find if there are any errors, test your PCB. If there is a microcontroller, write a sketch to test all of the functions of your PCB. Check all of them at once or one at a time. If everything works fine, don't worry, be happy, but if something is wrong, keep watching. If you found out that your PCB is not working as it should, the first thing to do is to check all of the connections with a multimeter. Check for shorts, open circuits. Set multimeter to ohms measuring or to buzzer mode and check every connection. To make it easier, use your schematic and PCB layout. If you have an access to a microscope, even the simple one, and you need to troubleshoot soldering of SMD components, maybe this is a good solution for you. I am using a microscope sometimes to check if there are any shorts or just to check if I soldered something properly. Overall, it's not very useful in an electronics shop, and this is not something that you must have, but when you are working with tiny components, it's nice to have one. If everything on a PCB seems to be fine but it's still not working, take a look at the schematic and PCB layout. Maybe ask a friend to check it with a fresh view. Try to find what may cause the problem. If there are some components that are not working, try to Google them and find other people's schematics that use your part. Check how they connect it to the rest of the project and find what is different between those schematics and yours. Of course, remember that not everything that you found on the internet is true, but if a part is connected the same way on several schematics, we can assume that this is how it should be done. I don't really like this one, probably because of electronics forum community in Poland, but if you can't find a solution for your problem, try to ask for help on the forum. There are a lot of electronics enthusiasts that will be more than happy to help you. Be nice, post your schematic and describe your problem as detailed as you can. Hopefully within a day or two, electronic gurus will help you to solve your problems. Once you found all of the problems, try to fix them, maybe solder a cable, a capacitor or cut the trace with a knife like I did. To save some money, try to fix problems on the PCB that you already have, then change your schematic and reorder your PCB. And here is a simple tip to avoid mistakes on your PCB, it's called prototyping. Before ordering a PCB or even before drawing a schematic, prototype your idea on a breadboard or protoboard. Check if everything is working as it should and then create a schematic out of that. That's the easiest way to avoid any mistakes, but sometimes it's hard to prototype because of very small components that are surface mounted. I used to prototype all of my projects, but because right now I don't have that much time and I'm using smaller and smaller components, I almost don't prototype any of my project. Thankfully I can order cheap PCBs from jlcpcb, so those mistakes are not that expensive. So remember, don't give up, try to find a problem, fix it and continue working on your project. I know sometimes it will be hard, but that's hardware, not software, there is way more things that can go wrong. If you have any other tips on how to troubleshoot a PCB, please leave them in the comments and remember to click thumbs up button and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, happy making, bye.